I'm really at a loss for words. And generally, that never happens for a minister. You give us a microphone and we go to town. But let me say, I'm really humbled and honored to be here with you men, you women, and you former inductees. And first of all, Coach, I'm not sure, you're doing a great job, but you might have missed your calling. You kept them in stitches all night. I can't wait to get on the computer every evening to see how the Tigers are doing. See what the banner has to say about them. That's the only contact I have anymore. All my family here is gone. Let me, I'm not used to speaking about myself or any accomplishments or whatever, but some of you people here tonight were my heroes. Now some of my classmates here have gray hair. I use Clairol 41. And I'm not ashamed of it. The people in my church say I look good. My wife sends her apologies for not being able to be with us tonight. I have my son Hank, my oldest son, here sitting at the platform with me. And I have several members of my family way back. I have grandchildren here. I have Hank's wife and his two sons, and great-granddaughters back there. I have 5 great-grandchildren. I'm not used to talking about myself. I'm used to talking about Jesus Christ. So forgive me if I relate to that just a little bit. But I have been blessed. As you heard what Greg had to say here, I have had a great run in life. And I owe it to the training and to all the teachers that I was fortunate enough to sit under their hand. I could name several of them. I can go back and name every one from the first grade to today. We moved to Chapmanville when I was the 8th grade. And they had a gymnasium. I didn't know what a gymnasium was. I was from District Holler. And as a result of that, when I got to go into the gym and play basketball for the first time, I was astounded. I did not know that you could play inside. And I was just a dumb hit from the sticks. But you know, really, it was in the halls of Chapmanville where I learned the discipline and the work ethic that you talk about that helped me to be able to achieve the goals and objectives that I had set for myself when I left Chapmanville. I want to tell you a couple of stories. I don't want you to cry, but I want to tell you a couple of stories. When I graduated, my mother gave me a $20 bill and said, "Son, there's no jobs here in Logan County." I had 2 girlfriends that I went graduating with in high school. They were in Dayton, Ohio. And I hitchhiked to Dayton, Ohio with Millard Chapman. Some of you may remember him. And got there, got a job the next day, stayed there and worked for 3 or 4 months, went in the Air Force, and then after that I took up golf in the Air Force. Then I came home and got a job there in the city of Dayton, stayed there. That's part of the story that tells you that I had a work ethic, that I was not going to just live on the street or whatever. But as a result of all of that, I got a job with the city of Dayton working on the golf course, and happened to be playing with a couple of people that were officers of the club management there. And I said to them one day, "I'm going to be running this place one of these days." I hadn't been there a week. And they looked at me like, and I was just a young kid. I was only 22. And they said, "No way, no way." Well, in 1968, they appointed a person to the position of assistant greenskeeper to a leadership position. He couldn't read the front page of a newspaper. I went to the supervisor's office. I cried like a baby. I get a little humble and broken up when I talk about this. I said I graduated from high school. I play golf. I'm a scratch handicapper. I love the golf course work, and you're going to give this to somebody who can't even read the front page of the newspaper. And he said, "That's the union. That's the way we have to do it." So right away, I realized I had an object to overcome. I had failed to get a scholarship out of high school and had went in the Air Force. And there's a big story behind that, and I'll just tell you briefly about it. When I went into the Air Force, I had failed to get the scholarship, but there was someone here in Chapmanville working for me to get it, even though I had already enlisted in the Air Force. Some of you here, Ted, you will remember Bob Stern, state trooper. He had gotten me a scholarship to Glenville State Teachers College, and no one knew about it but him and Jennings Randolph. How many of you remember Jennings Randolph? Jennings Randolph called Lackland Air Force Base, tried to get me out of the service so I could come back and go to college at Glenville State Teachers College to play football. It never happened. Once you're in, and they hold on to you till your day is up. Well, that was the first big tearjerker that I had in my life, not getting to go to college to play football. It was 13 years later that I was able to go to college, commuted every day for 3.5 years to get my degree in agronomy. So I can say it too. And as a result of that, I went back to that job and became superintendent over 6 golf courses and retired from that position. And of course, as Greg said, I got the Ball-Our-Own course. I even tried to hire Barney back many years ago. I called him. We were going to hire him as one of our golf pros, and political figures above me prevented that from happening. They wanted a local yokel. So we had to do that. Let me just say this about some people that are here tonight. It'll tell you how old I am and how we related to some people here having gray hair and some having well-groomed Claire all in their hair. But I worked with some of the old men back years ago that really trained some of these young individuals that you gentlemen have coached. Danny Gobby, Ruby Bazin, Ruby Mills, Truman Stowers, and Mr. Bazin, Mr. Zigman. There was Kenny Zigman and Dickie Zigman that played Little League ball. I was in high school and I worked with those older coaches and helping to train those boys up behind the grade school. And I would like to think that a lot of that ethic that they developed during that time was a result of some of those men having planted into them. And you gentlemen here have developed that into tremendous talent, and Chapmanville is reaping the rewards. I am very proud be able to tune into the computer and see what you're doing. It's a great program. I also like to just mention briefly, I have performed, as has been said, a lot of funerals and a lot of weddings. Two people that are here tonight, Judy and Sylvia and Myrtle, dearly beloved ladies. I played ball with their husbands, and they were tremendous. You don't need that to be said again, but I want to just affirm the tremendous ability and the guts, the inward drive that those men had. Every single one of them. Pete, or Dick, and Ralph. I tell a story about Ralph. We were playing tennis. You'll remember this. It was one of the nights when you completed 3 real long passes to me, and I went on a reverse. Got the ball down to the 1 or 2 yard line on 3 occasions. And boy, I just kept waiting for Ted to call jump pass right over the goal line. 31 left. Here goes Ralph. 30 right. Here goes Ralph. In the end zone. 3 straight TDs. But you know, he deserved it. He was a great athlete, and I'm glad to have called him my friend. Let me just conclude this. Tonight, I'm humbled by this. I don't think I've received a lot of honors in many fields in the golf area. That thing doing Arnold Palmer's wife's and Payne Stewart's invocation at their memory at the International Golf Course Superintendent, I was humbled by that. But tonight, I stand before you as a little boy who came to Chapmanville and is very proud to call it my home school. Thank you for this honor. Wow.